Hi, welcome back to part 2 of breathing. If you found this video beneficial, please like it, please share it, and send me a message in the comment box. I'd love to hear from you. Now, in the previous video, we talked about using our abdominal muscles, our tummy muscles, to push our air out first, and then using the atmosphere to naturally fill our lungs. Now, there's a danger of what I call the zombie effect, is that we're so laboured in the way that we think about it that we go and it becomes this laboured, again, unnatural way of breathing. Now we need to add a little bit of momentum, a little bit of energy to this breathing process, so it becomes like one organic movement together. Now, think of this. Think of a footballer who, for example, is just about to take a penalty, and he just stands there right in front of the ball, and he kicks the ball. He doesn't even pull his leg back to kick that ball. He just simply pushes it forwards. How far is that ball going to go? Not very far. Same way as if a tennis player is just about to do a serve, and he throws up his ball and he just does that. Is that ball going to go over the net? If I'm taking an arrow, bow and arrow, and I just do that and then let go, the arrow's just going to fall on the floor. We've got to create a little bit of a momentum, a little bit of energy. So the footballer needs to take a few steps back, run towards the ball, and then pull his leg back and kick, and he will score. In the same way as tennis. That backward movement, that forward movement in one continuous action creates that momentum. Pulling back the arrow, creates that momentum. We need to do that same with breathing, and we've got to add a little bit of speed to that movement. So rather it being a slow movement, it's got to be that out and in. It's one continuous movement, and by doing so, you actually bring in more air to your lungs, because you've added that momentum, you've added that power from the diaphragm to the breathing. Now, how do I incorporate this into teaching a lesson? Let's say I've got a 7-year-old who's just starting their first lesson. In many cases, it can be 6 years old. We've lost that pupil if we're describing how to breathe in both this episode and the one previous to that. There's no way that a pupil's gonna get it. They just want to get that instrument and play their first note, and it's quite simple. I always feel that we've got to set that new culture right at the beginning. That reflex action has to start, and we don't need to explain every single step. So all I do is, simply when they put their reed in their mouth to blow the first note, or the mouthpiece or the instrument, I just ask them, before they do so, just breathe out first, then breathe in, and then they play. And that creates that new culture, that correct reflex action that we do naturally in our daily life to the instrument. So I don't add it later. If we add it later, often we have to backtrack. So I always have my feeling is that my future self, or their future self, needs to be thankful. So start it right from the beginning. So the very first, literally the first note they ever blow down that reed, I ask them to, first of all, breathe out, breathe in, and then they play that note. All this discussion of how it's done can be left for later. When I introduce notation for the very first time, I'm talking about timing, I will simply count them in, and I'll add the timing to the breathing. So for example, I will not go 1, 2, 3, 4, play. I will go 1, 2, breathe out, breathe in, play. So 1, 2, play. Now, try some of these things in your teaching. You can do this online. It's very effective online. It's very difficult when we're teaching online to actually see that breathe out, breathe in. So I tend to always remind the pupil, are you breathing out, breathing in? Remember to breathe out, and keeping that process working. Don't presume that it's actually happening. on the video because you can't see it, and some of these bad habits can start when we start teaching online, and things can start to disappear. So keep an eye out on that. Again, I'm going to end this video now. If you like the video, please share it, please like it, send me a comment. If you agree with it, fantastic. If you don't agree with it and there's a better way of doing this, I'd love to hear from you. So and I will be doing a part 3 soon, with a little bit more advanced breathing, and eventually we will be looking at things like circular breathing and how to do that. Okay, but thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.